the first Shabbat occurred after the three emanations of Keter, Chokhmah, and Bina of Atika Kadisha, but it wasn't sufficient for its needs, and so it wasn't really counted as a Shabbat. It stays with us, however, as the principle of three, the principle of threeness, higher than two-ness. That's why Kalal Gadol is considered three things. Best way to think of it, it's brought down to us as the three meals of Shabbos, almost on an instinctive level. These three periods of the threeness are shown in the womb as three periods of 13 weeks each. Each 13 is the letter Mem. It's the 13th letter. So there are three Mems that one goes through in the womb. There's a microcosm of a perfect life outside when those three Mems each are 40. And the 40 years would be 3 times 40 years, 120 years as a complete life. Each of these Mems are also the 40 days of Moses on Mount Sinai, and the 3 times he goes up to Mount Sinai, the 120 days. These are all prototypes of the 39 labors, so it's 40 minus 1. The 39 weeks are the weeks in the womb, and then when the baby comes out of the womb, he spends 1 more week and then has a bris. Everything is done in this womb like everything is done in life. The fetus is taught the entire Torah in the womb. And then when he comes out of the womb, he obviously can't handle the entire Torah, like the 3 emanations of Atika Kadisha couldn't it wasn't sufficient for its needs. After the 3 emanations, needs more. So mercifully, the Malach slaps him on the upper lip, slaps him on the mouth, and he forgets the entire Torah. This is after the 39-week period, which is an obvious Adonai Echad, 26 plus 13. And so we kind of go from there. The threeness is the spiritual number. It's the circle, because a circle revolves around pi as 3. So the circle is spiritual. The circle, though, never manifests in a linearity that can show progress. It goes into itself. So it's the eternal return of the same, so to speak, but there's no sense of development and progress and multiplicity. That's why after the first 3 days of creation, well, it's not 3 days there. There is no days there. There's a Shabbos. There should have been a Shabbos, but it's not counted, and it's never counted. It remains as a root, as that first Shabbos is really, they call it like a third. It's the potential first, which is in the threeness, 3 meals. And then we come to the 7 days. First, it's the 8 kings that died. That's one level, where Hadar becomes Yesod. But Yesod is then taken as Shabbos. And then after that come the 7 days. You see? So there are really 2 Shabbos, and a third that's never counted. This is shown in the Mishnah, Shabbos, chapter 7, Mishnah 2. Anyway, and Mishnah 1. Anyway, from this potential comes a lot of my explications now. Because I feel that all 39 laws of Shabbos are taught to the fetus in the 39 weeks in the womb, and it parallels his development. And then he forgets the ikha, the real root, the third aspect, the real Shabbos, the spiritual Shabbos. He forgets that when he comes out of the womb. And he can only get that in an aha moment of remembrance. So we already know in our gut what Shabbos is. We are not responsible for its forgetfulness, but in a deep sense we know its forgetfulness. We can only be responsible for something that we have personally forgot, but not kind of ontologically, or forgot from our essence at our source before we're consciously aware of something. We can't really be responsible for things that we aren't consciously aware of. This is a deep principle that could even be applied to law and to criminals. Are we responsible for things from a genealogical chain, but not our own personal understanding or personal exposure to that chain of learning within the linear continuum of the 7? The 3 process is spiritual and circular. The 7 process is obviously physical. We get a sensation of the 3 process at the 7 of the of the physical process, because in actuality there are 6 physical and then 1 spiritual. This 7th day, this Shabbos, is a return to the 3 meals of Shabbos, of the original Ikha of Shabbos, of Atika Kadisha, which is never really manifest down below and only can be intuited. This is a great essence here, knowing that the coming out of the womb, that's when we become responsible as an individual. Nothing in the womb, our individual birth, is a very big deal here. And as you see, this is just an introduction to a much deeper understanding, and it's only alluded to in these few minutes.